Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on SUI. Wanted to do a full update. I've been relatively bullish on SUI over the course of this week. Hasn't really resulted in a bullish breakout yet, but outside of that, except for the last 8 hours, it has been quite strong. And I still think we have a good chance to actually regain some of that strength, some of that bullish momentum. Very soon, although, I mean, before we get into the video for SUI specifically, you must know that there's quite a lot of news today, right? So Jerome Powell is speaking, for example. We have some other economic data. And of course, we have the peace talks between Russia and Ukraine as well. So be aware of that. I mean, if we get some bearish news about that, then we are going to drop down lower, right? And SUI is definitely, in my opinion at least, at the last critical support level, right here at 3.65. As you can see, that was the value area low of the price action right here at the end of April. But that's also where we had the first imbalance. And SUI has some imbalances to the downside as well, as you can see, all the way down into 3.35, which that's the risk, all right? Dropping down into 3.35. It's not the worst, of course, but then on the higher time frames, we lose a major breakout we had above 3.8, all right? And that's what we don't want to lose if we still want to get into 4.5 and 4.6. Which at this point of time, I would still say is most likely. But we'll get to that. First, some fundamentals. SUI fundamentally had been doing great. At this point of time, still is. Economic activity is at all-time highs. And this is the first time, I believe, that it's sustainably been at those all-time highs, both in TVL, but also in DEX trading volumes. Even though, and I've said this before, the TVL right now is at all-time highs. Well, the price is not, right? So that means that actual network growth has occurred, which is great. But then the situation in terms of price right now is that there has been some bearish pressure across the markets, all right, for Bitcoin, and all altcoins are reacting to that, of course. And for SUI, that has meant that we had balance up here on top of 3.8. On top of 3.8 and between 4.1 right here. And with the bearish pressure this morning, we dropped down below that. All right, so purely technically, that's a bearish breakdown. However, the bearish breakdown and the bearish momentum has pushed us right now, and let me delete those ugly drawings, has pushed us into a strong support level right here at 3.65, where we have that value area high. We have some imbalances right here, and you can also see historically, it's quite a respected level on the higher time frames as well. Sometimes the price shoots down below that. That is something to be aware of, but ultimately it's a respected level. So my thoughts about Bitcoin, which is that, you know, this is bearish pressure, but I do think Bitcoin will hold in combination with the fundamental strength that we're seeing from SUI, makes me say that this is a real bearish breakdown, but that the support right here in combination with all those other factors is enough to eventually, hopefully soon, but eventually reclaim back above 3.8, back into this balance right here, and therefore, you know, at least back into this balance. But if we're in that balance again, and on the higher time frames, if we're above 3.8, which the balance is, then it's most likely again that we will see continuation into 4.5 and 4.6. However, we do need to do this, right? We do need to see an actual reclaim back into that balance. And I would say we need to get that relatively soon, right? So that is the main thing to focus on right now. Like I said, given the support level we're at right now, in combination with what I expect from Bitcoin, in combination with the fundamentals and the technical structure for SUI, I would say this is most likely, all right? But if we get a strong rejection at 3.8, 3.85, and if we're unable to reclaim that, first of all, I will make an update. I'll try to keep you updated on that. Second of all, then the tide changes, all right? And then we could actually fall down into 3.5, 3.35. So be aware of that. But for now, I think that's what you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.